Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Rupika Singh, dermatologist and founder at Akia Aesthetics, Ghaziabad. Today I'll be talking about psoriasis, which can also be pronounced as psoriasis because 29th October is considered the World Psoriasis Day by the International Federation of Psoriasis Association. The theme for this year is Informed, and I'm taking part in promoting awareness, empowerment and action, as I strongly believe a well-informed patient can take care of his or her condition better. It's important to educate and inform patients because the condition is regarded as a social stigma. Patients often suffer emotional trauma for the fear of not being accepted by the society because of their condition or of being looked at differently. So now coming to the basic question, what is psoriasis? Psoriasis is a chronic inflammatory disease which affects around 2 to 3% of the world population. Now coming to the literal meaning of psoriasis, psori means itch and isis means condition. So it is a chronic itchy condition which has different treatment modalities available, but there's no definitive cure for psoriasis. Psoriasis can be controlled, but it cannot be cured completely. So for the first time when a patient is informed that he or she has psoriasis, it can be really overwhelming for the patient and devastating. So I believe the patient should be counseled really well when they are disclosed the diagnosis of psoriasis, because it's a chronic condition and it can affect the patient even mentally. To the second most common question, what is the cause of psoriasis? The exact cause of psoriasis is not known, but it is a complex interplay between the genetics and the immune system. Now, if we consider our immune system like an army, the role of each army personnel is designated. In the same way, the immune system has certain cells and they have a designated role. But in a psoriatic patient, it is seen the immune system is mostly overactive or it's hyperactive. So in this, what happens, instead of the immune system reacting only to the intruders, and once the intruders are killed, they shut themselves down. But in a psoriatic patient, we see that the immune system is still fighting even if the intruder is not there. So that is known as an exaggerated immune response. Yeah. Then the second thing that we see is that the cell turnover time is increased. What do we understand by cell turnover time? Normally our skin rejuvenates, gets rid of the dead skin every 4 to 6 weeks. But in a psoriatic skin, we'll find that 4 to 6 weeks is reduced to 1 week. That leads to shedding or scaling in psoriasis. Then the most common question we come across is, if a person is diagnosed with psoriasis, their family members are concerned whether it can be transmitted to anyone in the family or whether in future the kids will have it. So the thing is, psoriasis is multifactorial. It's not necessary if your parents have psoriasis, you will definitely have psoriasis. If one of your parents has psoriasis, that increases the probability of you having psoriasis by 14%. Whereas if both your parents have psoriasis, that increases the probability of having psoriasis by 40%. But then again, I would repeat it, that does not mean you will definitely have psoriasis. It depends on various factors such as smoking, alcohol, obesity. These things also contribute to psoriasis. Even environmental factors do affect precipitation or aggravation of psoriasis. Now coming to the most important question, whether it can be transmitted from one person to the other by touching. Especially in our scenario in India, it's really important to make people who are suffering from psoriasis aware, and even their relatives, that it is not a transferable disease and it cannot be transmitted from one person to the other person, like fungal infections, scabies. These are the diseases which can be transmitted. How does psoriasis manifest? It usually manifests as red itchy lesions which are covered with silvery white scales. So silvery white scales help us to differentiate psoriasis from other common itchy conditions. And at times, if we'll use a glass slide to remove those silver scales, we might see tiny bleeding spots. This is known as Auspitz positive sign, and it is only seen in psoriasis. What are the common areas where you could get a psoriatic lesion? These are the scalp, the extensors of the upper limb, the lower limb, the trunk, especially the lumbosacral area. At times there are patients who have only nail involvement also. Psoriasis can also present on the palms and soles. So it's not necessary that one should have psoriatic lesions at all the places that I have mentioned. There are people who can have only a psoriatic plaque on the scalp, or maybe only the nail involvement or only the bone involvement. And there could be a patient who has more than 90% of body involvement with psoriatic plaques that can lead to erythroderma. There are certain factors that can aggravate or precipitate psoriasis. Such factors are infections such as sore throat or HIV infection, medications like hypertensive medication, beta blockers or chloroquine, or psychotic drugs like lithium. Even painkillers like NSAIDs can precipitate or aggravate psoriasis. Then there are certain conditions such as stress, physical trauma, cold climate, alcohol, smoking. These things also can aggravate psoriasis. So if you see a patient whom you've given proper medication and still they are not responding to the medications, it's really important to rule out if there are any precipitating factors or aggravating factors that could have led to failed treatment. Because many a times, you might feel, the patient is following all the regime that you've given them, but they're still not responding. Maybe the patient is a chronic smoker or a chronic alcoholic. So we need to rule out these things, and we need to educate our patient that these things should be kept under control, because nowadays psoriasis has been found to have a great association with metabolic syndrome. So any patient who has hypertension, diabetes, obesity, chronic smoker, they are more prone to psoriasis. What are the treatment options for psoriasis? There are various treatment options available, but it depends on the severity of the conditions. So the regular use of a moisturizer and managing the aggravating factors plays the most important role in managing psoriasis. There are topical modalities such as your steroids, keratolytic agents, vitamin D analogs, and immunomodulators that can be used if the disease is more limited. And in case it is a scalp psoriasis, one can use tar based shampoo, ketoconazole or keratolytic based shampoos for scalp psoriasis. In case somebody has more extensive psoriasis, in that we can use phototherapy with PUA or narrowband UVB chambers, or excimer laser or targeted phototherapy. There are systemic drugs also available to control psoriasis, which is methotrexate, acitretin or cyclosporin. They are usually given in severe cases or very extensive disease, or if there is bone or joint involvement. Nowadays there are newer agents which are known as biologics. They are also available. They can be used in patients who are unresponsive or they are difficult to treat. The common topic for debate is whether to use oral steroids in psoriasis or not. So what we see is, if we start oral steroids in a psoriatic patient, it might improve the condition or it might result in dramatic effect. But if we see the long-term risk and the toxicity, that's a lot. And the propensity of the disease to reoccur may be more severe on the cessation of oral steroids. So oral steroids should only be used in severe forms of psoriasis, which is either erythroderma or generalized pustular psoriasis. So what we have to understand in controlling psoriasis as a disease, it can be just controlled, it cannot be cured, and the patient should be counseled about it, that the patient should be counseled about the chronicity of the disease so that they don't fall prey to homeopaths or Ayurvedics who are claiming that they can cure the disease, because like I mentioned before, the disease cannot be cured, it can only be controlled. So all the medications that I have mentioned should be taken only under the supervision of a dermatologist, and there should be a regular follow-up with maintenance treatment to control psoriasis. Now we can also adapt to certain lifestyle modifications which can be adopted by the patient with psoriasis. It is weight reduction in case the patient is obese, which can be achieved by physical exercise or yoga. Yoga can also help in reducing the stress, which in return increases or triggers psoriasis. Limiting alcohol intake, quitting smoking, biofeedback and cognitive behavior also helps in reducing stress levels. Thank you. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and the video was informative. In case you have any further questions, feel free to ask me. And I hope we all can play our bit in spreading awareness regarding psoriasis.